In this session, we are going to focus on the basics of SCADA system. As I told you, these are all the topics we are going to see today. What is SCADA and how it is utilized, functions of SCADA system, benefits of using SCADA system, SCADA brands that are available in the market. So I have split this session into two parts. In the first part, I will cover the basics of SCADA system, and in the next part, I will cover the basics of simplicity. What is simplicity and how to use it. So let's start with our first part. What is SCADA? SCADA stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition System, which means it is the system that supervises, controls the data of real-time process. Before that, we all know what automation is. To put it in a simple words, automation helps a system or a process to run automatically. So to automate a process or a system, we need a set of tools and devices, be it any software application that is used for programming or any hardware components that are required for the process like controllers, processors, etc. So there are many important automation tools that are existed, and one such tool used is called SCADA system. So SCADA is an integrated system which has both hardware and software elements. It helps in controlling and monitoring a process. Its main function is to visualize and monitor how a particular process happens. It easily interacts with other devices which are connected to it, and it controls the real-time process. The connected devices may be sensors, valves, motors, pumps, or any other field instruments. So its main features is that it notifies any alarms or events that are happening in the plant, and it also helps in reporting data, storing data, and even tracking the historical data. And all these can be done remotely from SCADA workstation, which is far from the industrial plant or a field. So next topic is advantages of SCADA. To talk about the advantages of using SCADA system, SCADA has many beneficial features which helps the user or operator in many ways. For example, as I explained in the first slide, it has features like alarms, reports, trends, recipes, etc., which we can discuss in our future slide. And apart from these features, it stores a large amount of data because it uses the database server as a storage. So the stored data can be easily tracked, modified, and viewed and displayed anytime. SCADA is known for its scalability and flexibility. It can directly connect it to various devices and applications, and it can run smoothly without any issues. And it also has a very quick response. It also allows the user or operator to respond and intervene the process instantly and easily for the monitoring purpose. So these are all the advantages of SCADA system. Now we are going to see about the architecture of SCADA system. So the architecture of basic SCADA system consists of these components: operating equipment, PLCs, RTUs, electronic devices, host computers, PC with HMI, etc. So I already told you that SCADA comprises of both hardware and software components. SCADA software is responsible for SCADA programming, which means we can design, visualize, and display the process representation using the SCADA software. SCADA software is installed in a system which is called host system or a host computers, which means supervisory system, and it is used for supervising purpose. So the supervisory system plays a very important role, and other components includes PLCs, RTUs, communication interface, HMI, etc. And SCADA system comes under monitoring level, while control systems like PLCs, RTUs, and other devices comes under the control level. So PLC are known as programmable logic controllers. It is used in a it is used to control the industrial process. For example, in an industrial plant, there are many field instruments used like motors, sensors, actuators, valves, pumps, controllers, drives, etc. In that, the input devices gathers the inputs and sends the data to these control level equipments or devices. So the data is get processed here, and the processed data then is displayed and monitored through the SCADA system. So RTUs or remote terminal units, both PLCs and RTUs acts as SCADA field controllers, which are used to interface with the sensors, actuators, etc. Data servers and devices communicate with each other through PLCs and RTUs. So they collect the data from the devices and forward it for further purpose, and they both have the same purpose, except PLCs uses physical medium for data transmission. They are either they are either connected directly or through buses and networks. But RTU uses wireless transmission. So company which have a wide geographic area uses RTUs because PLCs are best suited for only local area control. But the current PLCs have the same communication abilities as RTUs, which are using wireless transmission, and also the communication speed is even more faster in PLC than RTUs. Also, PLCs are more cheaper and flexible than RTUs. So nowadays most of the industries prefers PLC over RTUs. So our next part is HMI. HMI is nothing but it is actually a system or a device that allows human operator or a user to interface with the machine. So it can either be a hardware device or a software application. So as I told you, supervisory systems are nothing but the computers or the host computers that we are using to supervise and control, modify and to store the data of the industrial process. Next one is communication interface. Communication interface, they are nothing but they are used for data transmission. They use buses and networks and allows communication between the devices and the controllers. As I explained before, the input data is either manually fed or fetched from sensors, actuators or other input devices, and then the data is sent to PLCs